It's now meeting to order and we'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you please stand for a moment of silence for all those who passed away in Belize and others who are harm's way during. Are there any corrections to the minutes?
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. My report is basically, we're down at least 2 firefighters, I guess in some ways 3 firefighters and then I'm not sure how many are injured or some patients, so I'm hopeful we're gonna hear a plan about how we get back to hiring. That would be great. That's all I have to report. Chief?
So, do you want me to do my report or answer that question, or is that something?
Sure,
different?
if you can answer that question.
So at this time, I was over at Town Hall talking to the administration, and I did bring up the fact that, we do need to get a plan. And of course, they know because they received your letter. So they did say that we will meet this week, next week. And I'm gonna formulate a plan. I just wanna see what our options are. So, speaking to Ms. Simpson. We will have something at the next meeting. Yeah. Special meeting. Okay.
Okay, and then the rest of the.
Okay, so Deputy Chief's report, in the operations realm, we had a fire at the pantry. There was a fire that started on the C side of the building, and the access was really from Miller Street if you're picturing the pantry. So it was not visible to everyone that first arrived, but some units went over that side because it was reported there. And the fire from the outside spread into the wall and into the interior. There was a very quick knockdown and an extensive overhaul that ensured a very little spread, or they kept the spread to the minimum that it could be. And the good thing to see is that they are back in operation, and it's just such a vibrant store, and it's great to see them back in operation and doing great business. So we're happy with that. It was because of the quick response of our firefighters and the team effort. Let's see, a radio update, we are in the radio system project. I mentioned last time that they had installed radios in most of all of our mobile equipment. And we were just waiting for the software to come back with approval from Connecticut and the state to write to those radios that we had bought, the tri-band radios that we bought in anticipation of this project. They weren't part of this project, but like the car that I'm driving, we bought a few years ago, and we said, okay, let's put a tri-band radio in it so that it will accept the new system. So now they had to get approval, and they had to write that program via laptop into my radio and a handful of others that were recently done. So that's done. So that's another great milestone. The only thing, and that would have been the last thing that we needed, and from there we would have been able to put over the system like the police did. But sort of a wrench just came into the whole issue. There was a handy-talkie microphone recall from Motorola, and so it affects all these. We've got a room full of portable radios which we can't deploy until we get the until Motorola decides what they're going to do, and they're going to have to. The only problem is not just a matter of just taking a new radio handset and just just attach it, but it needs firmware updates. So each portable radio has to be touched. In other words, you have to go to each of them, put that on a table, and hook a recording wire to it and read it new firmware. So it's take time, and so it's just slowed down everything. The good thing is that we are able to use these new radios in the vehicles, talking through the old system, and then they're kind of patched. So we've got a game plan. We're fine right now, but we're hoping that we can get this resolved, because the new systems for continue on. In the personnel realm, the new mechanic started September 30th, and he's doing very well. We actually even put him in there's an aerial operator class that we just happen to have going here, where we put a couple of our new probationary firefighters. We decided to put him in that class, so we get the certification, but also, since he's not a volunteer firefighter, it's a great familiarization to aerial apparatus and its limitations, how to deploy it, putting down the tormentors, and how it operates. So you all know that Chief Sherwood retired. His last day was October 4th. So he listed at the last meeting that we promote immediately upon that retirement. So Chief Iannotti was just promoted. We assigned him to the fire marshal's office. He is a fire marshal, and so he started work on Monday. Chief Gamola is on light duty. He's going to be detailed here to the training center. Chief Higgins, we thank him for his great service in the fire marshal's office. Now he's on D shift. He took over Skylar Sherwood's shift. Another new development is that the town has asked us, has acknowledged our need for increased staffing in management, because there's really nobody. It was just the chief and I basically doing the day-to-day management, because everybody else had their functions and we're busy with that. So they've given us an additional deputy chief. So while I was just kind of filling in for Chief McCarthy, who, as you know, is on leave, they asked us whether we would deploy another deputy. And so right now we have the two gentlemen sitting next to me, Chief Barry and Case. So they're coming from all their different slots will mean that there's 2 slots on the line that need to be filled temporarily. So we're going to put provisionally, we're going to put the 2 highest lieutenants. Actually, it's the last 2 lieutenants are on the assistant chief list. Lieutenants Delmhorst and Lieutenant Cronin, both very experienced officers. We have no qualms about deploying them. They're provisionally promoting them excellent fire officers. So we're going to put them in shift to cover the spots. And I had a point here, firefighter hiring, that I had spoken to HR, and we have an agreement to speak about it, I think next week, I believe. And the only other thing is that we're ongoing with the election security meetings. So the town has a committee together, and we're looking at the election committee planning and what we can do to just ensure that everything, all eventualities are taken a look at.
Thank you. Any questions?
Just one question. So the 2 lieutenant positions now are gonna get filled by firefighters?
No, so in the contract, we can't immediately fill, we can immediately fill a vacancy in an assistant chief's rank right away. For lieutenant's ranks, we have to wait for 8 weeks. It's a contractual provision. Though there's also a theory that that the union has told us, which what we believe is true, is that they're not lieutenant. The way the contract says, you could put somebody provisionally in that spot for a vacancy, but it's not lieutenant vacancies that are happening. Those lieutenants vacancy, those lieutenants, they're not sick leave or injury, or it's not really their vacancies. They're filling some other spots. So it's something we have to wrap our heads around. But the first thing is that we can't do anything for 8 weeks anyway contractually. So we have a lot of time to think about this and see about it.
So the vacancies in the lieutenant positions are being filled by overtime?
Correct, yes.
Otherwise, that would be an issue with drivers as well, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah, it could be too, yes. So we had a couple of assistant chiefs have said that when you have enough drivers on each shift, if we start usually promoting lieutenants or firefighters to lieutenants, so that is another concern, so that's why, you know, we have time to think about it, and so it's nothing we can do right now about it anyway, so. One other thing, if I could, that we are looking at October 29th. We'll firm up the date with you for a promotion ceremony for Assistant Chief Iannotti and for mechanic, supervising mechanic Gillis and mechanic Klineski.
The 29th, correct?
29th, yes, but we'll firm up that. I think it's good for the first
Put it in
select.
my calendar for now.
We'll move it tomorrow. Okay.
Further comments, questions? Sir?
No report tonight.
Southport?
So I'm no longer the chief of Southport. The deputy is in command. I resigned starting 16th of September, which is the effective date of the 23rd. So Deputy Chief Luciani is in charge. They're not here, so they don't report, but I'll give you that as an update at least on the way out.
Stratfield Fire, volunteer fire. Local 1426.
We just have our cornhole event on October 26th. Stop by if you're free, it'll be fun. Other than that, business as usual.
And, that's it,
Illicit brewing.
it's around noon.
Starts at noon, yeah.
Where is Alyssa?
The old Planet Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
The old Bullards.
Oh, yeah.
Flyer if anyone needs.
We only 4 people in this room know where the old Bullards is.
Boston Billiards.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There you go.
Donations, there's a,
There's one in here in the package.
The Genova family.
The Genova, the $200 donation.
So
I'll make a motion to accept the donation from the $200 donation from the Genova family.
Seconded.
and we can use this to provide education about fire safety.
Yes, provided the town agrees. Use that donation that was asked from fire safety education.
We'll sign off on that.
Is there any discussion? Is there a motion to approve or accept?
We already had a motion. The motion is seconded. We need a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Old business.
Sorry, I don't have any.
Nope.
So is there a motion
Yes.
to go into executive session? Are we expecting the first selectman?
He was trying to get here by time, but timing wise, but he's fine with not being here if he gets done. So,
I'll make a motion to go into executive session for agenda item 7 is listed.
To discuss personnel matters. Yep.
Inviting the following people for Selectman Gerber, if he's able to make it. Human Resource Director Kathleen Simpson, Attorney Christopher Henderson,
He's not
Chief
gonna,
Operating Officer David Becker, and
Human Resources Director.
Well, you weren't listed on it, but you can,
Discuss it.
David and Christine are listed.
Sir,
So there's 4, we put 4 names. to try to cover who was attempting to get here. So we have Kathleen and I are the two, but it is specific to Kieran, so he doesn't need to be with, say, an option to.
An option to be in there. I also, but Attorney Henderson will not be here. I did receive a call, so.
It's up to.
I'm fine.
No issue if you want to stay.
Yeah.
So and
We'd love to
assistant,
have you.
and acting or assistant deputy chief, Kieran Dunn. Yes,
So if you're not,
we're listing him too, so
yes, right.
that's the motion.
So is there a second?
I seconded it.
No votes were taken during the executive session.
Are we gonna motion to go back in or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Motion to grant or
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Let's have it. No votes were taken, no motions were made. Is there a motion?
I have a motion.
Thank you.
So, and Jill, I can give this to you. Pursuant to the Town of Fairfield Charter adopted by ballot of the Town of Fairfield 11/7/2006, 2006, and amendments as noted were applicable in paragraph, I think it's section 9, paragraph 10.6, Fire Commission and Department. Section C reads, appointment of an acting fire chief during the absence or disability of the fire chief. The commission may designate a member of the department as acting fire chief to perform the duties of the chief. Be it resolved that the Fairfield Fire Commission appoints Deputy Chief Kieran Dunn, acting fire chief, effective September 24th, 2024, and continuing until a date to be determined by resolution approved by the Fairfield, Connecticut Fire Commission, or the return to active duty by Chief McCarthy.
Is there any discussion or
We
is
need
there
a
a second? Second.
second?
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
I was tossing out Supreme Allied Commander, but that was turned down, so the motion as it is. Thanks, good.
I didn't do any of
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And and to the interims,
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
This is a special meeting technically, so we do not have new business. And the only thing left is
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Guys have it.